Hi friends, this is Subrat here, and in this video I am going to discuss about what are the options and settings are available for the Pandas data frame data structure. So let's start. So I'll explain this with examples so it will be clear. So before doing any operations on Pandas, so Pandas provides us some options and settings that we can set. So at first we'll see how we can set the maximum number of rows that we can set for a data frame. That means whenever you are printing a data frame, by default how many number of rows it should display. So let us understand this with one example. Suppose I am importing a data frame from this location and I am storing it into my data frame called df. So let's see if I am printing the data frame, how many number of rows are getting displayed here. So this is my data frame called df. So let me run this again. So if you print the data frame df, by default it is going to show you 60 number of rows from 0 to 29, which is 30 rows, and from 70 to 99, which is 30 rows. So the combination is 60 rows. So by default if you are printing a data frame, it is going to show you the 60 number of rows, and that also you can check by the syntax. So pd.options.display maximum number of rows, which is max underscore rows. So by writing this syntax you can able to see what is the maximum number of rows my data frame going to display. So this attribute also we can change of our choice. So let's see how we can change the maximum number of rows that one needs to display. So here you can write the syntax like this: pd.options.display.max underscore rows, and the number of rows that you want to display you can assign the value to it. So here I want to assign 10 as my maximum number of rows to display. So after setting the maximum number of rows, if you print your original data frame, you will see. So let's set first the maximum number of rows. Then you will see that the maximum number of rows has been reduced to 10 counts. So here 0 to 4 5 and 95 to 99, which is 5. The total is 10 number of rows. So in this way you can set the maximum number of rows count. So if you want to set your customized row count, then you can set it by using the max underscore rows keyword. So another way is there also to set the maximum number of row count. Instead of using this big syntax, we can also use get options and set options to set and to get the maximum number of row counts. So let us do that by using this set option method. So I can use pd.get option at first to see what is my maximum number of row counts. By default it has set. If I am printing this, I have already set the maximum number of row counts as 10. That's why it is showing me as 10. And that value you can change by using the set underscore options method. Inside the set underscore options method, display dot max rows parameter you have to pass as the key, and the what is its value. So value I want to set as 20. So 20 number of maximum rows I want to set. So here display, and you have to use the dot operator, and you can call the max underscore row keyword. Then you can set the maximum number of rows that you want to set, and also you can get the what is the value of my maximum number of rows by using the get option method. So if you are putting get option and using the display dot maximum number of rows, then you will get the count as 20 here. So in this way you can set and get the maximum number of rows. So let us see with one practical example how we can set and get the maximum number of row counts. Suppose this is my data frame df equal to pd dot data frame, and inside that I am using the numpy's random function generate a random values. So here 7 indicating I have 7 number of rows, and 2 indicates I have 2 number of columns. If you execute this, you will get a table structure like this. You have 0 and 1 as a column names, and your index start from 0 and ends at 6. So if you print the shape of it also, it has 7 number of rows and 2 number of columns. So let's set the maximum row count. You can use the set option method to set the maximum number of row counts. So we have already seen how we can use the display.max row keyword to set the maximum number of rows. You can also skip the display keyword, and you can also use the max rows alone to set the maximum number of row counts. So as I have set here max rows as 5, if you print the original data frame, you will only see 4 number of rows here, because the rows will be evenly spreaded over here. If you are setting this 4, you will see also 4 number of rows has been displayed. If the maximum number of rows count is odd, the output will be even number of rows has been displayed. If you are specifying a maximum row count as odd value, then the output will be even number of rows. Here you can see, here I have 5 as my maximum number of row counts, but if you are printing the data frame itself, it will give you the row count as 4, 0, 1 and 5, 6. So if you are increasing this to also another odd number to 9, here you can see 0 to 6. In this case, as I have 7 number of rows, it is going to display you nearest even number of row counts. As I have 6 as my even number of rows, so that's why it is displaying me 6 as my number of row counts. Sometimes what will happen, if you have a lot of columns inside your data frame, it will not fit in your console. It will just trimmed out extra column names. So in that case, you can use the expand underscore frame underscore representation REPR, and you can set it to true. Then what it will do, it will just put all those columns inside your console. So here you can see I have just used set option method to set the expand underscore frame underscore REPR attribute to true. That's why it is getting stretched inside my console. And you can also reset the options what you have set by using the reset option method. Whatever the options you have set already, that you can reset it to its original default value by using the reset underscore options method. So I'm just using the reset underscore options method, and what is the attribute I have set, that I am passing over here. So let's see another example how we can use the options and setting attributes inside the pandas data frame data structure. So display dot large underscore REPR lets you select whether to display data frames that exceeds maximum columns or maximum rows as a truncated frame or as a summary. So that means if you have set maximum row count to some value, suppose 5 over here, and you have more than 5 number of rows in your data frame, so at that time whether you want to truncate the data frame or you just want to display the summary of the data frame. Suppose this is my original data frame. Here I have 10 number of rows and 10 number of columns here, but I have set my maximum row count as 5. I just want to display 5 number of rows. So at that time, what is the options that you want to set, whether you want to truncate the data frame rows or you want to display only the summary? So in that case, suppose you want to truncate the data frame. So truncating means you just don't want to display extra number of rows. So larger representation LARGE underscore REPR, that attribute you can set it as truncate, then it will just remove or it will just truncate all those extra number of rows, and it is going to display the required number of rows as set by your set option. As here in case of set option I have set it to 5, then it is going to display me the even number of row counts. So we have here only 4 number of row counts. It has truncated the extra 6 rows. So another options also provides, if the maximum number of row count is exceeding that we have set it previously, then in that case you can display the information about that rows. So here I am setting larger representation as info. That means I just want to see the information about that particular column or particular rows here. So every row inside the data frame having of float 64 data type. That's why you are showing this information regarding that rows. So you can also set the maximum width of a column by using max column width attribute. So here I have a data frame called df, and inside that I have a long string as my column name. So in that case, how you want to display the column names, at which width value you want to display the column names. Suppose I have set my width as 40, and if I am printing this, so let me run this again. So it is displaying me entire string as my value here. Suppose I am reducing my maximum column width to 6, then it will going to truncate the extra characters inside that value. So as my width is 6, it's going to display the values inside that width of 6 only. You can also reset the options by using the reset option method, and you can pass the maximum column width attribute to it. So let's see one more example how we can use the set option method to set the precision of a number. So here precision of a number signifying how many digits of numbers you want to display after the decimal place. Suppose this is my data frame df, and inside it I have 5 number of rows and 5 number of columns. If you print, it will come like this tabular format, and you want to set the precision as 4. That means after decimal place how many number of digits you want to display. So as in this case I have set my precision value as 4, it is going to display the 4 number of digits after my decimal place. So let's see one more example. So setting the threshold value below which numbers will be set to 0. So let me explain you with this example. Suppose this is my data frame df. After printing the data frame, you will get a tabular structure like this, and I have set my threshold value as 0.5. That means below 0.5 what are the values are present, it is going to chop it to 0. So here you can see these values are below 0.5, that's why the output will be 0 here. What are the values that is not exceeding the threshold limit, that values is going to be set as 0. So here you can see this value is less than 0.5, that's why it has set as 0 here. So you can also set the threshold as 2 here. If I am setting threshold as 2, the values which are not exceeding 2, that's going to set as 0 here. And you can also reset the threshold option by calling the reset option method, and you can pass the chop threshold as an attribute here. So these attributes names only we need to remember how we can use it and how we can set its value. So here I have the link of pandas.set option method, and this method will take this many number of attributes, and you guys can go through over all these attributes and try different options and how we can set different attributes with different values. I'll share you guys with this link in my description, and you guys can check it. So friends, this is all about how we can use the options and settings techniques inside the pandas data frame library. I hope this concept is clear. If you guys have any doubt regarding this, you can leave a comment under my video. Thank you.